Welcome to Coaching Uncut, a special series on the Unstoppable Woman podcast, where I take you behind the scenes and give you a peek into the private coaching I do with my clients. All of these coaching calls have been recorded with the permission from my clients who have generously allowed me to share these with you as a way of helping more people in this world. They give you access to master level coaching and the opportunity to learn the lessons that they're learning right along with them. Please keep in mind that these recordings are not studio productions and the audio quality may be less than ideal, but the content will take you far and help you become unstoppable. With that, listen in and learn. Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well.
Good.
So great feeling getting that other person back in the game and contract signed. So that was a huge win.
Yes. Can we take a moment to celebrate that? I want to celebrate that with you.
We absolutely can. That was huge. And you'll be, I think, particularly proud of the fact that, in the midst of the re-enrollment conversation, he, toward the end, when I knew he really wanted to do it, I had gotten him to say that many times over, but he was still struggling a little bit. He's like, well, is there any way we can do a smaller thing, at a lower investment rate? And of course, in my mind, for a minute, I'm like, but I just said, no. There was no.
Love it.
And then I went right to, I wasn't like, no, fuck you. It was just clear. No, that's not a possibility. And then I jumped into, and this really isn't about the money.
Perfect.
Right. And
Perfect.
So I was just like, yes.
I'm so proud of you. This is a real moment of you stepping into your power around this and recognizing the truth of what's going on in a situation. This is a living the truth of the situation and owning it. And I freaking love it. And, great little tactical adjustment for you in terms of what we texted about it and doing having the contract prepped, ready to go, being able to walk him through it. So it's not this thing that he's then going off and waiting,
Well, and he acknowledged to me when I got to the point where I was like, so you ready to get started?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, yes. And I said, great. Let me bring up the contract. Are you at a computer?
Yep.
And we can go through it. And he's like, I already looked at it. There's nothing wrong with the contract.
Good. Okay. But let's get it.
Let's
get it signed. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was great. And he's already scheduled for his, our vision and strategic planning intensive. And he already did, the pre-work questionnaire. He's got some other things I gave him last night, but he's on it. And I kept, I was saying to him even it's the investment. This is what's going to pull you forward. I was like, because you're not going to let yourself down on that. That's exactly why this is important. And I just had all the things. I was like, oh my God, who am I? Where am I getting this? I'm getting it from how many years of coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. But you're owning it now, which is the difference. Yeah. And I think that the work that we did in the call on Monday, I guess it was.
Yeah.
That around what are the steps you're going to take him through? I think you had a lot of doubt because you hadn't taken, it took us 5 minutes in that call, right?
Right.
But it becomes daunting when it doesn't need to be daunting when we haven't looked at something. And really, it can be done very quickly. I have some experience, so we shortcut that. But if you had done that, it probably would have taken you half an hour, right?
Yeah.
You would have thought about it and figured it out. And that level of clarity allows you to be able to be in your power in that call.
Right.
And that's super, super critical. So
yeah,
good.
No, for sure. So then my other big news is that I enrolled someone else yesterday and got a pay in full of $7,000.
Yay! Fuck yeah! I love it! On a freaking roll. So good.
I'm like, we have to talk about celebration number one. Like, don't roll over that. But that's why you were, now I know what you were going to say. That's awesome.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to hold it and tell her tomorrow and surprise her. Yeah. So this is another, again, someone in my warm network, someone that, worked at the same company as me. We, knew each other. We were in different departments, whatever. And, anyway, he had reached out to me on LinkedIn. We had a call, an initial breakthrough call the week before Memorial Day. And this is one of those situations where I chose to, like, I've been playing around with different things, but for whatever reason, we ran out of time. I didn't get to the punchline of the offer. So I told him, well, let me send you a proposal of what it could look like, and then we can discuss further, whatever. And when I send a proposal, it doesn't have the money in it because I don't want to get into that except when I'm live with them on the phone. And this guy's a lawyer too, and he likes a lot of details, whatever. But in the back of my mind, I knew it was kind of risky. Anyway, rolled the clock on, we connected yesterday, another great conversation, and it was pretty clear to me that, he was going to want to do this. Like, I sort of asked all the questions to anticipate what his objections might be, but for the money one, and kind of knocked all that out of the way. And
can you pause for a second?
Yeah.
I just want to acknowledge you are such a good student. You are such a good student. I'm like, yay. She's doing this. No money in the proposal.
Oh, God,
no. Three questions. Yeah. But like a while ago, you would have sent that out, but now you know.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Okay, good. I love it.
No, I
like
love it.
Now it's like a no-brainer. You're like, yeah, of course not. That would be stupid.
Totally.
But,
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And of course, but I've always got to find something to beat myself up about. So like initially I was like, why, I should have been faster and gotten to the offer on the phone, but whatever. I mean, it worked out. And so it was all great. Made him the offer. Like, he didn't even blink. It was 3 months. I quoted 10, 11 quick, 10, 8 quick decider, 7 pay in full. And my only regret, and I'm kind of tongue in cheek on this because I'm nothing but excited, is like, well, I probably should have quoted a higher price.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing though on that. You only quote a higher price when it is a higher price. So it has to be a clear decision on your part. It can't be for this guy, for this person.
You're right.
Right?
You're
so
right.
If you had quoted him a higher price, then that's your price. Okay, because that's integrity. You can't be like, well, he can probably pay more, so I'm going to charge him more. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
When you're ready for freedom, you find the courage to scale. And you better get ready for our next, the 7 Laws to 7 Figures Summit, which is going to be off the charts. Join me this November for an electrifying 3-day online event where female entrepreneurs from all over the world gather together to learn how to scale their business and unlock the freedom that they desire. And a special offer for all podcast fans. Get your seat today using the link theunstoppablewoman.com/breakthrough and save 80% off of your ticket purchase. Bye for now and see you there.
Another guy.
Before you go on.
Yeah.
Though I really want to hear this.
Yeah. No, I know.
I'm going to ask you a favor.
Yeah.
This is what I teach in the fundamentals. I don't know if you plugged into that, but this whole warm network referral outreach. This is how I grew my business the year that I,
went to 700 something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is what you're doing. This is what I teach, right?
Yeah.
Are you willing to write a testimonial that talks about, like the fact that this outreach, I have done this for the last 9 months and I've made X amount of dollars. I went from not having a business to having a business, right? Like all that.
And by the way, speaking of that, my year-to-date, growth is $30 shy of $80,000.
$30. I love that. That's
right.
Great.
I don't know how I ended up with that. Oh, because I had some $97 tickets to my retreat. That's how it ended up with an odd number.
But that's great. You're going to still blow past your goal for this year.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like the years. We got 4 more good months here.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. I want to hear the third one, but let's talk about that. So your goal was 100K, right? Is that right?
Yes. At a minimum, my goal was 100K. Like, okay. I was like, I need to close in on that this first year out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. Which you realize, I just need to keep affirming this. Like, no one does that their first year. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, totally. Okay. Like, you're feeling it. Okay.
I love it.
So you're definitely going to make that. What's your like bonus goal? What do you want to pull in? You don't have to tell me right now, but if you have a number, tell me. What do you want to pull in? You have September, October, November, December. That's 4 months.
I mean, I'd love to get to 150.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm all in. Okay. Tell me about this third person.
So this third person, similar situation, someone that, you know, was a colleague again in a different department, but knew me, saw my posts on LinkedIn, reached out, wanted to talk about, you know, his career stagnation, frustration, whatnot. We spoke we've actually had 2 conversations, and at the end of the last conversation, which was right before Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day or Labor Day?
Labor Day, sorry, Labor Day.
Okay.
You know, it became clear that his wife was going to need to be a part of the decision-making process. And it even became clear, like, he was having some fear because several years ago he had worked with a career coach and it did help him, but they were a bit perturbed about the rate this person charged. And I don't know, there was some sort of negativity around it, but it involved his wife. And I think he was afraid of, like, quote, making a mistake again. So anyway, long story longer, I said, hey, you know, let's all have a conversation together, give him the whole reason why that would make sense, Let me know when would be good. Then I didn't hear from him. I did like a follow-up after Labor Day. Labor Day weekend, people kind of want to just like be left alone, so I let it be. And then I followed up yesterday and I said, what's a good day this week to schedule more time with you and stuff. Anyway, he wrote back and he and I are scheduled Friday. He said he had a really good conversation with her. He's not sure if she'll be joining, but she understands that he needs help or whatever. So bottom line is,
that's great. Let me ask you a question on that.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Does he know the investment level working with you?
No.
Right. So there's a little bit of a challenge there.
Okay.
Because what this other career coach might have charged might be a lot, but a lot less than you.
Right.
Okay? In which case, he's going to go right back into I don't know if this is going to work. Will my wife be okay with it?
Right.
So,
I mean, the only thing I will say is it's something like that other person was like 10% of his total compensation. And so at the time, which
okay,
I'm guessing it had to be, I'm guessing it had to be more than what I'm charging if that was really the rate. But good point. You're right. Mm-hmm. So assuming I am at that higher level, what's the recommendation of pushing him back on the phone? Or?
I mean, you're going to get him on the phone. You're going to have the sales conversation.
Yeah.
In the way you've learned how to have the sales conversation, listening, service, all of that. And then if there's pushback, maybe there won't be pushback. Okay. You could be intentional about there not being pushback. But if there is, then you say, totally get it. This is why I think it would be a great idea for you and to get on the phone with me. And then we can have a discussion about whether this actually works for both you and for the family.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. I got to run.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Bye. Take care.
I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this episode of Coaching Uncut. Let us know in the comments what you learned and how you can apply it to your own life and business. We absolutely love hearing from you. And we also love receiving your feedback. So thank you in advance for your likes and reviews. They really help us connect with more women who need this information to help them scale. So much appreciated for that and taking the time to do that. Now, if it's go time for you and you're ready to scale your life and your business, then I want to offer you up something. I want to offer you access to our Be Unstoppable Facebook group. We drop daily and weekly resources in this free group that show you exactly how to scale, what you need to be doing differently. So if you want access to that group and it's go time for you, go to theunstoppablewoman.com/ Facebook group, and that will redirect you there. So theunstoppablewoman.com/Facebook group, no spaces, and start by getting your copy of the scale plan, which lives there, and it's totally free. So go do that now, and then tune in to the next episode and continue to be unstoppable.